All right, guys, today I want to talk to you about health insurance. A lot of people think they know health insurance. Health insurance has undergone changes. And as we stand here in 2021, health insurance is a lot different than it was 10 years ago. Health insurance is a strange vortex. And it's very important for you to understand the pros and the cons of health insurance plans. Okay. Most of the time when people are looking for health insurance plans, they're thinking about what I like to call the bold print. They want to know, what are my copays to my doctors? What are my copays to my specialist, emergency room? What am I going to pay for my prescription drugs? What is my deductible? And a lot of times people are drawn more to the best of the bold. So if they see a plan that has really low copays, really low co-insurance, medications and prescriptions are very low, then they say, hey, that's the plan that I want. But is it the plan for you? Where you say, hey, listen, I want to have the best insurance possible. And yes, if you have a situation where you're hospitalized, you going to the hospital with a Cadillac insurance plan is going to be great. It's going to make sure that the doctors and the hospitals get their money. But it doesn't do anything for you. It doesn't do anything for the time that you are going to be out of work. A lot of times people aren't thinking about if they need to recover, how long they need to recover, how long they can go without their income. They're not thinking about those types of things. And so what I like to do with my clients is I like to try to save them as much money as possible. Now, certain people, I can't help it. They're going to need to get more or less a Cadillac insurance plan because their health determines that. If someone says, I go to the doctor 2-3 times a month, I'm on 20 different medications, I was hospitalized, the last year I've been to the hospital about 2 or 3 times. That person would probably need a Cadillac insurance plan, and it would be justified under those circumstances because one of the trips to the hospital for them would justify what they're paying. But most of the time when I talk to people, those are anomalies. Now, I know that there are sick people out there, but most of the people that I talk to, and you probably listen to this video, you may have little to no illnesses or issues going on with yourself. And I'm here to tell you that you need to take full advantage of that. And when you get a health insurance plan, understand what are the basics and what the commonalities are between all of these plans. Now, of course, everybody knows, or in case you didn't know, the Patient Protection Affordable Care Act, look that up. But in summary, in essence, it is exactly what it says. It is designed to make sure that certain rights and benefits are available to you so that you can have some semblance of quality care. And look up minimal essential coverage. Some of the things of minimal essential coverage. It covers preventative visits. If you're going to your doctor and it's classified as preventative, no matter what plan you have, it is an ACA regulated plan, an Affordable Care Act compliant plan. Your doctor's visits are supposed to be no cost if it is a preventative visit. You need to know that. The second thing you need to know is it covers birth control. However you feel about that, I'm just stating the facts, not my opinions. Mental illness is supposed to be covered on every plan. Substance abuse is supposed to be covered on every plan. These are things that you need to know about these health insurance plans. And for a lot of you, that is really all you're going to be using insurance for, unless an unfortunate accident or illness happens. So if you can kind of think of health insurance as being the meat It is the core of what you need. Now, the only time that a person is typically going to have big medical bills is if they're hospitalized or if there are some special procedures that they are dealing with their doctors. We're talking about involving testing, MRIs, CAT scans, things of that nature, rehab. Yes, your medical bills can go up that way as well. But a lot of times and oftentimes you know that you are ahead of that and you know that that's something that you need. So that would be the time to discuss that with your agent and making sure that a plan is put together with those things in mind. But most people do not use insurance for anything at all unless it's a preventative visit. Guys going and getting their wellness checkups, flu shots if they go and get flu shots, diabetic screenings, mammograms, pap smears, colonoscopies, prostate exams. These are classified in most cases as preventative visits. As long as you have a ACA compliant plan, no matter whether it's the most expensive plan or whether it's the most inexpensive plan, these are things that are going to be covered on your plan. Be mindful. There are people out there that sell these products that they're not insurance. They give you great copays. They give you great things for doctors and everything, but they don't really take the time to tell you that these things do not cover major medical very well. And the last thing you need is hundreds of thousands of dollars in medical bills, and you thinking that your insurance company is going to cover it, and you find out that they've covered $2,000 to $10,000 of the medical expenses. That's not the way to find out. So I challenge you that if you don't know, if you haven't had an opportunity to have an agent go over your plan with you, I would strongly find an agent who can do that, and oftentimes an agent can do that at no cost. I do them for my clients all the time, and a lot of times we're able to uncover things that they are not aware of, and then we're able to let them know what those things are and what the solutions to those things are. It gives the prospect or it gives the client an opportunity to be able to make an informed decision. That's all that you can really ask for, and that help today is available. And it's about going with somebody that you trust. But oftentimes, as I said, a typical person that doesn't really take medications, and I'll give you that example, no medications, really no pre-existing conditions, things like stroke, heart attack, cancer, diabetes, or depression. If they haven't dealt with any of those, they really don't need to get a very expensive health insurance plan. They just need to get a plan that's going to cover the basics. And the way and what that does for them is that tremendously drives down the cost on their premium monthly. So a lot of times if I'm able to save someone, $200, $300, $400, $500, $600 a month on their health insurance, because health insurance can be pretty expensive. One second while I take me a little drink. But as I was saying, most of the time, a basic plan can help them. It helps drive down their cost. So let's just say you had a plan, and for the sake of argument, let's say this plan is $700, and it has all the bells and the whistles. There's plans that cost $1,400, $2,100, $3,000. You'd be very surprised. But again, you have a situation where you have no real issues. You can get yourself oftentimes a compliant plan that has a high deductible, high copays, and high co-insurances. What you need to know is that these insurance companies already have a negotiated rate worked out with doctors, hospitals, and specialists that are in that area. And for the most part, when you go to a doctor or you have a scheduled doctor's visit, you're going to try to stay with the doctor that's within your proximity. Nobody wants to drive 2 or 3 hours to get to a doctor. So a lot of times people want PPO coverage because they want to be able to go to pretty much any doctor that they want. But PPO networks are usually 3 times the cost of a HMO or an EPO. or a POS. Look those up. But again, when you have a situation where you're healthy, getting a low deductible plan, low copays, and low co-insurance is not idealistic for you. You'll end up shelling out $3,000-$4,000 extra a year, and you could take that $3,000-$4,000 extra a year, and you could do something else positive with that would work for you. That's a lot of times why I help people do that. Let's see. When you get supplemental coverage with your health insurance, that's critical too, because oftentimes, let's just say you have a $700 Cadillac insurance plan. The $700 Cadillac insurance plan, it's great for doctors and hospitals, but it doesn't do anything for you. And when you are the patient that's going through that accident or going through that illness, and it affects how you can live your day-to-day after the fact. Not to mention the hospitalization time that you're spending in. Oftentimes when you come out of the hospital, you're not ready to go back to work. Sometimes the doctor may want you to be on bed rest, or they may want you to get some type of care, or they want you to follow up and get rehab. You have to take those things into consideration. And so your health is truly your wealth. So you have to be thinking about those things. So idealistically, if you're a very healthy person, you want to get a high deductible plan and get yourself some catastrophic supplemental coverage. And what is that? That's going to fill the gaps there. So when you have a situation where you have a high deductible that needs to be met, if you have catastrophic supplemental coverage, that supplemental coverage is going to provide you a lump sum payment that more than likely will supersede your medical responsibilities. And once you hit what's called a max out of pocket in your health insurance plan, then what you can find is the insurance company is on the hook for the rest of the money from not only that moment on, but for the entire term of the insurance contract. So you literally could have $1 million in medical bills. And as of 2021, an individual max out of pocket should be no more than $8,550 in most cases. So if you can imagine having a $500,000 medical bill with no insurance, that's a daunting thing to overcome. But if you have the cheapest medical insurance that is ACA compliant and you stay within your network, you can have peace of mind of knowing that that $500,000 bill, you're only responsible for the first $8,550 as of 2021. It goes up each year by $200 or $300 as the trends have been since the ACA has format. So, but you can recognize that if you have a supplement that pays you $25,000, $50,000, $75,000, $100,000, sometimes even more, if you can recognize that you're going to get a check from that, who really cares about the $8,550? So this is why you don't let it scare you. Yes, it's two payments coming out, one for the health insurance and one for the supplemental coverage. But when you understand why the supplemental coverage is important, it's just like car insurance. It's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. The younger you are, the lower the rate will be. So if the younger you are, grab as much of that as you can afford, okay, within reason, and make sure you're covered. Because if you make $50,000 a year, okay, if you make $50,000 a year and you get a $100,000 check, tax-free, that literally could give you 2 years worth of income and then some. And that may be the time that you may need to file for disability. That can take some time. You may be in a situation where you can say, okay, I don't want to work anymore, but I want to start a business, where I can work from home. Well, if you get $100,000 and you're used to making $50,000 a year, that would be great, right? If you're used to making $50,000 a year and you get a check for $100,000, it gives you the peace of mind of knowing that for now, everything is taken care of, okay? And having an advisor can help you with some of the things and ideas and things that you can do with that money to make sure that you're maximizing that money and multiplying. So again, just to give you that quick overview in general about health insurance, if you're a healthy person, it is wise to just get a basic health insurance plan and get yourself some supplemental coverage to make sure that in the event that something happens, not only are the doctors and the hospitals getting paid, but you're getting paid too. And who's more important, you, the doctor, or the hospital? I think we all would agree that you are the most important person. And if something happens, you should be financially taken care of so that you can focus and concentrate on your recovery process without rushing back to work and developing a chronic condition because you didn't take the time to rehab your illness or your injury. So again, this is Lee with Buckeye Financial. I can be reached at lee@buckeyefinancialllc.com. You can also go to my website, which is www.buckeyefinancialllc, and learn more about me, the different types of services I have, or to book a session with me, a free session with me. And currently right now, I am in certain areas of the country. I am in Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Arkansas, Texas, Ohio, and Maryland. So if you are in one of those states and you need any help, I'd be happy to help you. I will be, eventually I will be in a state near you, but let's make sure that we're being smart about our decisions, okay? Let's not get discouraged about not getting insurance because we think it's too expensive. And let's work on creative ways of putting together the insurance plan that works best for your needs and best for your budget. All right, please take care.